If you've never thought about the difference between efficiency and effectiveness, you're not alone. Most people don't understand the difference. Most people believe that these two words mean the same thing, but not quite. They're quite different. And if you're using Agile, if you're using Scrum and want a high-performing team, you need to understand the difference. In his book, The Effective Executive, Peter Drucker states that efficiency is about doing things right and effectiveness is about doing the right things. All teams should be efficient, both efficient and effective. We should all strive to be both efficient and effective. Who doesn't want to do the right things right? But it's hard. It's hard to have both. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to find that sweet spot between effectiveness and efficiency for your Agile team. First, let's start with defining these two terms. Efficiency is all about doing things right, moving faster, getting work done with less resources, doing more with less effectiveness. Not quite the same thing. Effectiveness is all about doing the right things, bringing value to the customer. It's all about the customer. What can we do right now to move closer to our goals, product goals, sprint goals, company goals, and provide value to the customer, do the right thing that will provide value to the customer. In order to have a great Agile team, a high-performing Scrum team, you need both efficiency and effectiveness. If you have an efficient team, they are going fast, they are getting things done with less resources, but they are not effective. They are not working on the right things. They are not providing value to the customer. They are not prioritizing the right things. They are going fast, yeah, but working on the wrong things. And same thing the other way around. If you have an effective team working on the right things, but this team is not efficient, yeah, they are providing value to the customer, but it's slow. It's extremely slow. Their process, not efficient. They're working on the right things, yeah, but customers are waiting ages to get value. It's very important, extremely important that you understand the difference between these two terms. And I believe the best way to understand something is to use a simple analogy. So picture this. You have a product, very good product, and you want to sell that to a few clients. You want to meet these clients and pitch your product. You get the IT department, tech people involved, the developers involved to build a prototype, a sort of application that they can demo to the client. And you have a deck. You build some slides in PowerPoint or something else. Now, let's go through each one of these options. First, you have an efficient team. They go fast, but they are not effective. They are not focusing on the right things. Yeah, they are fast. They were able to build this prototype and be ready for the demo and build the deck also, the slides on PowerPoint in 3 days only. 3 days only. But when pitching this to the client, when doing the demo to the client didn't like it, because they were focusing on the wrong things. Not an effective team. Yeah, they were fast, 3 days, but they were not focusing on the right things. They didn't understand why we were doing it, what kind of value the customer was expecting to get. The second option, you have an effective team. They understand the value. They understand exactly what the customer wants to see, how to sell to the customer, what needs to happen for the customer to buy. But they are not efficient. They took too long to build the prototype, 2 weeks to build the prototype and deck. And because of this, the customer didn't even want to meet the team. So they didn't get the sale. Third option, neither efficient nor effective. This team doesn't even understand in what direction they are going. Yes, they have an application, but they didn't even study the market. They didn't even study the customer. They just built something that what they like without checking the market. And their process, not efficient. They took 2 weeks, 3 weeks to build the prototype and deck, but agreed to meet. But when they saw the demo, when they saw the presentation, that's not what they expected. Didn't provide any value, so the team didn't get the sale. Now, the final option, a both efficient and effective team. The right process. From the start, the team studied the market, studied the customer, knew exactly what the customer wanted, what needs to happen in this demo, what does the deck need to contain in order to get the sale from the customer. They built the deck in 5 days because they are efficient. So they worked on the right thing, effectiveness, and they were fast, efficiency, and they got the sale from the customer. A few months ago, an Agile coach contacted me. Yeah, she sent me an email requesting advice on how to proceed with an Agile implementation in the company she works for. I agreed to help. Yeah, I'm here to help. So she sent me a report, a very detailed report detailing exactly how they will move from the waterfall model, the classic waterfall waterfall model that their company is currently using to a more agile way of working. 5 minutes in the report, already saw a few red flags, tons of red flags, and one of them was that the company was doing the agile implementation. The main reason why they were doing the agile implementation was for more efficiency, going faster and cutting the costs, reducing the costs with less resources, doing more and going faster. Yeah, that's a good goal. There's nothing wrong with this goal. But is it really what agile is about? Is it really what the Scrum framework is about? Going faster, delivery with less resources. Not quite. Agile is not really about, it's about efficiency. Efficiency is always important, but it's way more about effectiveness. Building the right things, providing value to the customer. You see, software development is not about building, producing commodity products. It might seem that way. Upper management, people in upper management, directors, they believe that we are creating a commodity product. There's no difference between us and a factory. Developers are factory workers. That's not quite right. Software is engineered, not produced. And when you're trying to engineer something, complex work, effectiveness is way more important than efficiency. It might seem that way, but we are creating a commodity product, but that's not true. And that's what the agile implementation brings. This agile way of working, it brings effectiveness compared to the efficient waterfall model. Traditional ways of managing organizations, product development is the complete opposite of agility. Let's take, for example, the waterfall model. The waterfall model, tons of planning first, going in a sequential order. Why do we do all this? Why is the processes so structured, rigid, structured processes, structured format, geared toward efficiency to reduce uncertainty? Reduce uncertainty and increase predictability. Yeah, that's why we use the waterfall model. We do the planning first, we build all the requirements first, we know exactly what to do, then we start the plan. And because the analysis phase so detailed, the plan, quite good. But the problem is that it's complex work. You'll get tons of issues. Every single day you'll need to make tons of decisions that will move your plan, change the scope of a project, and that's normal for complex work. How do you know? You're building a plan for 6 months. How do you know what the customer wants 6 months in the future? Do you really think that the customer's taste doesn't change, that the market wants the same thing every single day? No, that's why the agile way of working is so good, because we are building the right things. We are focusing on effectiveness. Efficiency is important, but effectiveness is the top priority. But why not both? Why can't we focus on both things at the same time? Upper management, directors, they tell you, when you tell them we shouldn't focus on efficiency, we should work on building the right things, effectiveness. They tell you, you're right. Just do both. Just work on efficiency, be efficient, and be effective at the same time. Efficiency is the number one priority of a company, but effectiveness is also the number one priority. Everything is number one priority. Obviously, you can focus on these two things, but it won't be effective. You need to pick a side simply because multitasking doesn't work in your personal life, doesn't work for a team. Why would it work in this scenario? No, pick a side first, and the side that you need to pick is effectiveness. Building the right things. You should have a process in place to ensure that the team is always building the right things, studying the market, studying the customer, and ensuring what they build provides value to the customer. Then, once you have that in check, you can start adding efficiency in the loop, building the right things, but faster, in less time. Take, for example, you're building a website. A simple website, you want to sell products on this website. So the team that you're working with, they are not efficient, they are not effective, but they start with building this effectiveness first, building the right things. They put a process in place to ensure that they are studying the market, studying the customer, and ensure that they provide value to the customer. Release quickly, early. They build an MVP, a minimum valuable product, put it to the market, get feedback from the customer, and use this feedback to build something better. And they go on and on to ensure that they are always providing value to the customer. You're not efficient. You're taking a lot of time to do that. It's slow. It's really slow. Then you do a sprint retrospective with them or a general retrospective with a team. You ask the team, how can we go faster? We know how to provide value to the customer. How can we make our process now more efficient? The way we communicate with other teams, maybe dependencies, more efficient. How can we resolve the impediments more efficiently? They will tell you how to do it because they are doing the actual work. The developers, maybe you have designers, BAs, product owners, doesn't matter. They will tell you how to do their work. How can they be more efficient at their work? You're not telling them as a Scrum Master or an Agile coach or anyone in management. No, they are telling you how to do that. So build this effectiveness first. Ask them how to make the right things in less time. Which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.